Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharma swarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Yathagner dahika shakti Ramakrishne stita hiya Sarva vidya swarupam tam Sharadam pranamamyaham. Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Namaste to you all. We are trying to recollect or go back to the days when human had their independent existence on this earth. From that time, the timeless wisdom, how it developed. You see, every knowledge ultimately gets converted into wisdom. Whether it is good or bad, right or wrong, it doesn't matter. But one day, everything becomes, even bad experiences become wisdom, knowledge. Oh, I should never do. I should do this. All this wisdom comes. The plan of nature, you must always remember, is evolution of the every individual life on this earth. Now when we come to life, just like nature doesn't have any partiality, whole earth just you see from all directions, almost equally distributed, equally in every way. Nature is almost same. The plants and seasons, the sunrise, sunset. Maybe there is a little variation in timings, but happenings are all same. There is no partiality regarding the nature. Similarly, the human, if you see the animal life also, different places, small differences, lives are same. Bear may be there, the snow bear may be different, the bear in the forest at plains may be different, but they have the same nature and they have adopted themselves to the nature, as if nature has sprinkled life here and there on the revolving earth. And that we see humans also have simultaneously, it is not migration is a later part of human existence, coming here and there. Even you can see in the particular seasons, the birds migrate thousands and thousands of miles from one place to another and again go back. Migration is also a part of nature. And we see almost throughout the earth, on the earth, human existence, and each have been able to develop in their own way, respond to nature, gain something from nature, try to be beyond all this existence and to see something beyond. We may compare the Darwin's theory, the Darwinism might have entered our hearts because of the modern scientific logic. But we have to always have a little of understanding that Darwin's theory need not be true. At the same time, it may be true to the physical level of existence. The rest of the existence, the spiritual existence, what happens to the evolution of the individual, independent of bodily existence. Body species continuing in a particular, maybe it is undergoing transformation. But if you see, Later on we will discuss the Darwinism and other things also, the intelligent plan of the nature, all that. But when we come to here, the human everywhere, from ancient times, and now we will enter today into the another historical aspects. Here we see the human existence. We might not have been known how to shave our faces or comb our hairs or anything, but the existence, human existence, it is an independent, it is like patterns in nature. Horse pattern, single-hoofed, varieties, so many varieties, birds, this, that and all. Very difficult to say. Time, it has changed one into another. A mango tree has got converted into jackfruit tree in time because jackfruit is giving bigger fruit or something like that. We can imagine certain things, but they are actually independent species in nature. The one need not have developed into the other because the karmic load, according to the karmic load, the varieties of species and other lives will be there. The whole nature has to balance herself. Now in that process we see the patterns of the life also is changing because of the man's behavior is constantly changing. His reactions to nature is changing. His karmas are changing. To work out particular karmas, the nature needs a particular types of species. These are patterns that nature creates. And there may be in small, this one, a species might have got changed into another according to times. Because of it is mainly because what is human. And human is as if the cream of creation. Nothing parallel to him. Whatever you take in nature, however great powers and forces may be there, like nuclear power, this, that and all, man cannot be compared with anything in this creation. And he alone can peep beyond. He alone can transcend the nature and go beyond. This is the main difference. In ancient times, now history is divided into two parts. One is prehistoric period and historic period. The differentiation comes with the respect of the writing and language coming into picture. The recorded part and the at least even inferential. Now Vedas were there in ancient times. Indus Valley civilization, prior to Indus Valley civilization, perhaps Vedas were there. How that has influenced the lives, you see. Now, prior to that, before the language came into picture and writings, Vedas did not have writing at all. It is recent developments, but it has come down through thousands of years, as if eras have passed and aeons have passed, and it's flowing from mouth to mouth. To maintain the sacredity, it was not put in the writing language, though it has come in the present. It is spread from generation to generation through mouth. Language existed, but writing did not state it. But from the language itself, from scriptures itself, we infer how the people might have been there. Now Puranas, whole Puranas and all, how many people, how much of memory storage is there in humans, you see. There are supposed to be 1,000 crore memory cells, each is equal to 120 GB. And so much of memory storage is there. All the literature of the world can be deposited in one mind. So much of storage is memory. We are not utilized. and we have not exploited it. We are exploiting the external world. Inner world we have not entered. So this, the prehistoric period and historic period. Now prehistoric period has been divided into 3 divisions. Paleolithic, then Mesolithic and Neolithic. Litho means stone. It is supposed to be Stone Age. Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic, 3 divisions. And it passes through thousands of years. 3.4 million years before it begins. And it is continuing till almost 10,000 BC, 10,000 years before present, almost we can say 10,000 years before from now. That much of period, 4.3 million years before. That is a long period of prehistory. Then the historic period. Historic period is again divided into ancient history, Middle Age history, and then the pre-modern or early modern phase, era, and present modern era. This comes within 10,000 years. But the prehistoric period passes through a long range of thousands of years. You can imagine, even if we study a little the Encyclopedia Britannica, I suppose in the Indus Valley civilization, though civilization is supposed to have begun 5,000 or 6,000 or 8,000 years before. There is the researchers debate on these points, but the settlement, human settlement, is supposed to have begun 2.8 million years back in, say, Indus Valley. Unimaginable. Humans have already settled down, are there. Just like now, suppose many species are there. Like that, human species exist, they settled, means they have come together and are in a particular region. Indus Valley, the human settlements might not have formed, but existence has formed there. These are all modern researchers, but how from that time to the present time, then the Indus Valley civilization, suppose it is even 6,000 years back, the last 6,000 years, before that, Indus Valley civilization, before its civilization has begun, how many types of phases, the challenges the nature people have faced, how much of transformation they have gone. You can see the buildings coming up, the drainage system, everything, like modern times. So much of the developments. And this prehistoric period is most important part of the human development, a crucial times in fact. From the no extra things, be with nature as nature keeps. Then we have been moving away from nature, trying to, the tools coming into picture. We are slowly moving away from nature. And then we have learned how to exploit, how to control, trying to control the nature. Those times also human existed, same feelings. If we just study the love that the mutual affection and the even in Paleolithic period, early period, Paleolithic period, then Mesolithic and Neolithic periods. This Neolithic is just 8,000 years, last ending phase. And about 40,000 years back to 10,000 years, the Mesopotamia, up to 40,000 years back or 60,000 years back, from the beginning of human existence is the longest Paleolithic stage of human existence. Now that time, about 2000 million years back, itself we can see so many human music has come into picture. Now 60th layer, the flute and all made up of bone is about 60,000 years back, they say, have been found. The same human nature, how they expressed their love and gratitude to nature, the thankfulness to nature, the cave paintings of the Paleolithic period, means 3.4 million years back onwards. In those early periods, that period also is divided into, Paleolithic itself is divided into the lower, middle and the latter period, that is a upper period. The upper period is the nearest to us, and then the middle period and the early. So the Paleolithic itself is split into three. Now this first phase itself, the people are able to interact with the animals and birds, trying to make the same sound of the birds, how the language came into force. Feelings are there, expressions. Each place has a different types of expression of language. Language is entirely different, but language is there in every part of the world. When I was in forest, the Adivasis, those tribes, ancient tribes, like they are almost naked like people, using the fibers from the bark still, even now in India. They were had that understanding of thanking nature, loving nature, offering the offerings. All this we see existed in those days. The earliest part, it's called the lower Paleolithic period. Then itself, the music has come into picture. And when the period in which about at least 2 million years back, the buried bodies are being, that means they have already accepted the death and life after death. How the spiritual understanding is coming, you see. It begins with the thanking nature, loving nature. All the cave paintings of those period, earliest period of the Paleolithic period, we see their expression of one thing is knowledge is preserved there through cave paintings, and it is expression of spreading it to others. Those who come and go, see and go, they will be learning. And it is a treasure for the future to express how we lived. It is knowledge giving to the future generation also. So these all forms has already brought into picture. And when we come to the second phase, there itself 3 phases are there. Tools coming into picture. Without tools they are living. The earliest part. The second part, slowly the tools are coming into picture. When the tools come into picture, all tools are made up of wood, leather, stone. The arrowheads are made of stones. Spears are used. All this. And then when we come to the almost Paleolithic middle period, we see almost all the nature, the aspects of nature they have entered. Water, use of fire has begun. If they have seen the fire, they used to run away. The utility of fire comes into picture in this period itself, Paleolithic period. Then comes the Mesolithic period. Mesolithic period about 40 to 60,000 years back to 10,000 years back. They have divided. These are all Western concept of division. We will see the time division in according to our Indian understanding. The time is circular, not linear. We see everything going on in a cyclic order. That we will see later on. But according to the Western understanding of time and all that, this Mesolithic period is when so much of diversity has come into picture. The innovations have reached its acme as if new ways of living. From cave living and all natural living, they have already started building up small huts and all that. And rafts are used for moving in the waters, for fishing and all that. And animal domestication and domestication of animals and all have become so common, and varieties, goats and sheep's use of wool is slowly coming into picture. Horses, all these things are animals. And the main food, wild cattle and other things, boars, wild boars and all fighting. This period and sophisticated instruments like needle for stitching, needle. These things have also begun. Blades, not shaving blades, but scrapers to vegetables and scraping and all that. Fine living and the place while living elevated and softened with moss or some soft materials like grass, cut grass for comforts. And in the last Neolithic period of last phase, 10,000 years back, 40,000 to 10,000 years back. This period takes almost it is a strong foundation for the civilization, new coming up civilizations. Here we see the man has become, the languages have come, poetry has come into picture, how they just in tuning with the nature, how music came into picture, and how language, articulation, from bird making sound, trying to imitate it, water flowing, trying to imitate it. These are things, and they're breaking some stones, this, that, making sound, rhythms coming up, concept, all these slow developments. But man is man. His heart is heart. Heart is becoming more and more expanded. The same feelings that he gave in the first phase of the 3,000 million years back, how he looked at the nature with wonder and offered his thanksgiving and love, the same heart is continuing. The external natures, external things he has adopting of the nature is changing. But the nature of human, the self-awareness, awareness of the community, gathering together, living together with mutual love, these things are slowly the orderly way of living, the social structures, formation of the social structure, which began in the Mesolithic age, is taking a complete form in the Neolithic period. The social order is there. We can see the Chandragupta Maurya and all this period of 400 years, BC, 300, 400 year BC. How the Roman Empire, fall of the Roman Empire, that's called dark period of this one. All this, if we see, how man would have been in the Neolithic period, one with nature, the selfishness in the little way, just for self-preservation what is needed. No greed, no extra this one. It means human and divine is very close, but he may not be. Of course, in the Indian context, with birth, he is in tune with nature. With birth, he is in tune with divine. He may not be aware of it, not like all animals, only external, how to save itself, how to sustain its life. No, it has been beyond all that. The one awareness they had is self-awareness, and awareness of the environment, awareness of the future days. The planning for future was there. Oh, rainy season is going to come. And in the second phase, the Mesolithic period, already the agriculture has developed into almost good way. The modernization of the developments, further developments were done in the Neolithic period. But dependence on gathering and living is different from the animals living. He may be shabby, he may be not taking bath every day, but human is human. So that the spiritual awareness we see existed because music has already come into picture. The spiritual awareness slowly means the music has certain special characteristics. The main thing is it is an expression of emotions. The emotional level man has come. Expression of emotions, and then it is community-like. It is bringing together people. It is making him forget the external awareness, and it has time. When in Neolithic period, the last period, just 10,000 years before, that period, man is having more leisure, more comforts, more joy, and he is working for that, more joy, more leisure, because of the amenities that he has created himself. There the civilizations take a strong footing. So this is how almost the whole thing is. I will try to put the whole thing in writing and send to you, because this is you may not be exposed to these understandings yet. So, and then in the next class we'll try to take up the other part of this history. This is prehistoric period. I am interested mostly, of course, there if you study generally, it's only material developments alone is given. You have to infer and find out what was their mental state, how their heart reacted to the nature and other people, how even the meat eating was there, how they might have killed the animals, fishing, how they might have bowed down to the ocean or the river, entering before. The spiritual awareness and divine awareness, the kindness, the compassion, without losing that, with all that expression, how they lived one with the nature at the same time. Inevitably, for life's sake, they may have to kill an animal without enmity, asking for excuses or pardoning. All this must have happened. So this part, it may take a few days for me to compile all these understandings into a standardized form, but we are interested in the human aspect of wisdom, timeless wisdom, how it is developing and how it is innate. Music and spirituality are universal human traits. They are universal human traits which existed as innate in human, even in the human who was there in the early, when the earth, the formation of the earth, if human was there. And another thing we have to remember is, the Swamiji says, if there was a stone age which has come into the present age, there must have been a highly evolved state of existence which has been involved into the primitive stage of human existence. A tree becoming seed before it falls off. When the man grows to the highest intelligence, the destruction begins. When the apple grows to its fullness, it starts rotting. But it leaves the seed behind. So man, when it raises his intellect to the highest level, is full. Those who have crossed the nature and gone away, they are free. The rest, there is a total fall. There is a clearance. Total clearance. Apple has been rotted and went back to the earth again, from which it has emerged out. All human civilization comes to a standstill, enters into the waters back, and new Stone Age with new people, new understanding, new forces of nature. So we can take even the historic periods of the Arjuna's life in Mahabharata, all these various shastras, just like now missiles. We had all that, aeroplanes, all this, as it is. What we see presently, you can see far off, sitting here, all this existed in the same style in a different, but the forces used were different. Man's nature tends to be same, you see. And this might have belonging to the previous cycle of human existence, the highest developments, which has again entered into the Stone Age, and we are moving in the direction to the present age. All right for today. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.